Okay, so like I said, and I always give an example from my life because I want people to know. Because like I said, it's tried and true. Everything I did was experience. God took me through different experiences to let me know. Okay, you know, learn this, learn this, learn this, learn this. So, when I first got started, God decided that I had my spiritual father. My spiritual father would talk to me, but when my spiritual father would speak to me, at that point, God decided He was going to teach me Himself. And my spiritual father knew this. And he would always say, "What did God say to you? What did God say to you? What did God speak to you?" And whenever I spoke to my spiritual father, he will always, whenever he spoke, it was always confirmation for what God had already spoken to me, because he understood. Because God told him too. He said, he told me, he said, the Holy Spirit decided to teach you. And I was like, and I had no idea what that meant. I'm like, okay, so He gonna teach me through you? Like what does that mean? But he was saying the Holy Spirit has decided to teach you. And then he told me, he said, this is how the Holy Spirit is going to teach you. So when I first got started, God decided that He was going to teach me through dreams. I had dreams every night, and I mean every night, and I will always be tired. And I will do a video on that, on why you're always tired when you have dreams, right? But I, like, for the first year and a half, 2 years, I had dreams every night. And God was teaching me through the dreams on how to understand, how to hear His voice, what it sounds like to hear from God versus hearing from an evil spirit. And then there was a point in my life where God took away the dreams, and I had to learn how to hear God by just reading the Bible. And because I always wondered, I was like, well, how do people hear you if they don't have the gift of prophecy? Because I always wondered, I was like, I just don't understand. So he was like, I'll show you. He took away the dreams. And then I ended up started reading the Bible. And that's when I really got most of the revelations from the Bible. So then there was a point in my life where people started to recognize who I was in the spirit. And they decided that they were going to, the spirit started trying to come to me and speak to me through my dreams, right? So now I had two voices that was coming. When I say voices, I mean two different dreams. So I had, the spirit of God, he was talking to me, and then at the same time the spirit of God was speaking to me, the evil spirit was coming in, it was speaking to me, right? And it was trying to give me information. So a lot of times it went into one way, one thing it went into, it was like these weaves. God told me to take the weave out of my hair, because he was like, they're speaking to you through the weave and you don't know it. So take the weave out, and then you can see the difference in how we speak in dreams. So now I started to be able to see a difference in how God speaks through a dream versus how an evil spirit speaks through a dream. And I was able to see that because I followed God's instruction. When he told me to take the weave out, I took the weave out. And then I started to be able to see and hear God clearly. So that's how I know that the evil spirits contact you through your weave. And then there was a period in my life where there was a push for me to constantly wear weave. The spirit was trying to constantly get me to wear weave because it wanted to access me spiritually.